we will see. Like, I don't think there's too much to say, but I'm really looking forward to hearing what Kai has to say.
I'm not.
Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait what this guy has to say.
Yeah. If the quality is anything akin to the show note, the quality of show notes, you just said, dude, by the way, I can't look at this. I need to change the text color. Like, what the fuck? And also, like, make it a little bit bigger. And yeah, Roboto's fine. It's like, yeah, okay.
So welcome, everyone. This is the first time Kai has used Google Docs, I think.
It might actually be,
like,
yeah.
No, like, seriously, how the fuck do I change the text color?
Like, Kai wanted to prepare the show notes this time, and like the first thing I see as I log in, there's like purple Comic Sans. How the fuck do I change the text color? Give me the Comic Sans, Daddy. Ha 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 ha. Okay, let's like jump right into that topic. Hello and welcome everybody to Everyday Journal number 162, your favorite, most deceptively named bi-weekly legacy podcast. Today's show is brought to you by, I guess, Andrea Swift. It's her birthday today. She also happens to be the mother of Taylor Swift. And if you want to support the running of the show directly, you can support us on patreon.com/everydayjournal. Guys, welcome. Happy New Year, everybody.
Hey.
And if you want to teach Kai how to change, well, fonts and colors and also teach him like basic layouting, aren't you like supposed to be the designer of this group, Kai?
Graphic design is my passion.
Oh,
right? Dude.
If you only knew how often I had seen that when I watched, when I looked at websites of Kenyan properties.
Hashtag Comic Sans.
There's like this old meme of like graphic design is my passion, and it's like a circle with like a really badly drawn dog in it.
It's so fucking good.
Funny.
It's so good, dude. Give me that Microsoft Paint, dude.
Hell
when
yes.
you get, let's say, I don't know, leaflets or information thingies from the Kenya Tourism Bureau, about anything really going down, like, hey, we prepared this super awesome mega project. It's very common. I want to say Comic Sans might actually be the most used font, which sounds a little less impressive when you consider that each document probably uses like 20 different fonts.
Goodness, dude.
And just Comic Sans happens to be the most prominent out of those. I don't know, dude, man.
Graphic design gets raped by them. But also,
I mean, there's this thing where people like Comic Sans becomes so much of a meme that it sometimes, it almost like turns around, becomes a real thing. They released that paper on the Higgs boson, and I'm not even gonna. That's actually not like the breast of somebody, but I think it's boson or some whatever. And the official paper, these what's it called, the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. So like the official paper they got from there, where they discovered this new groundbreaking thing. They released that, and I'm not kidding you, written in Comic Sans, just because they wanted to make a statement that it's all about the content but not the presentation. And that's what I say on a first date, I guess. Yeah, okay. By the way, this joke was not written, which makes it all the more sadder because
what a lovely
so
intro. And speaking of hedron crabs and first dates, where's your transition, Julian? You've always got a good one.
Oh yeah, No, I'm just super excited because honestly, like, it feels like, in Germany we call the time between Christmas and the 6th of January the time between the years, or like in Bavaria also like the silent time, I guess a lot of people use it. It's basically when nothing ever happens, and it kind of feels like that's what it was like for Legacy, at least for me. I even had like a week off, but I didn't get to play a lot. And when I played, I got completely destroyed by 4th Erlingers, to the point where, dude, I kid you not, I really want to play that stupid 12-post deck. And it's not even stupid, it's actually pretty good. So when you like, I love Painter, but right now you will see me jumping into leagues just like trying to completely murder anything that plays 4th Erlingers.
What about Virulent Plague in Pox?
What does that card do? Like destroy all, gain control of all knights or something?
No, it's 2 and a black for an enchantment, and creature tokens get -2/-2. Have -2/-2.
Okay.
That's actually quite decent.
So all their knights are always dead.
Yeah.
So they just flash an endurance and then take the monarch. But yeah.
Well, they don't really play endurance anymore, do they?
Bowmasters are then.
Yeah.
I'm saying
there's also that crazy red enchantment you see in Command every now and then for I think 3 or 4 mana that says that every time a creature enters the battlefield, like Ether Flash. Yeah, it takes 2 damage, right? So
I love that card for some stupid reason.
Didn't we break that like 1 or 2 years ago, where we said, hey, if we get Pithing Needle and we name Etherflash, because any player can have it deal like 4 damage to them, right? To destroy it.
No, that's another one, I think. Aetherflash is just when a creature ETBs, it takes 2.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're talking about Ursa's Destiny, the guy with the dagger stabbing that I don't know goblin. I'm talking about either something.
I think at this
Storm,
point we have
believe.
like probably like about 50 plus cards that starts with Ether something.
Yeah, it's Ether Storm from...
Years ago, I wanted to make a deck.
Oh, dude,
with,
Homelands! Oh my goodness, let's go.
I wanted to make a deck years ago with swans. You know, swans of Argyle, is it?
Yeah, that
and
was
Ether
actually
Flash.
a real deck.
And yeah, it was with like plasma thingy, but I wanted to make it with like blink effects and Aether things, so each blink effect would be like a mole drifter. It's such a bad idea.
Okay, you see that's what happens when there's not too much going on in Legacy right now. By the way, I posted Ether Storm to the show notes.
Oh,
it's such a cool
yeah,
artwork.
I avoided posting the Homelands version.
Yeah, the
art
art
is badass. Card, not so much, but hey.
You know, when
Colour's
it's
just
marked to
ass,
Dean,
not badass.
like when it's marked to Dean, you know it's some kind of like weird fever dream or something.
Yeah.
Or end of the world. Who knows?
Looks both,
Yeah.
both together.
If you look long enough, it actually looks a little bit
Yeah,
sexual.
kind of, yeah. Like,
Anyway, okay, let's remove that from here again. Kai, you went to prison. At least that was the word on the street. But of course, we all knew better. Where did you actually go?
No,
Yes. You are still in prison.
well, now I'm back in prison called Berlin, yeah. But I escaped for
Prison Break German version.
I escaped for 2 weeks. Went to Japan. I tried to go there like once a year, and in fact, like this morning, like I was so excited about this podcast today that I woke up at 4 a.m. today. Right.
Because that makes sense.
Just kidding.
Travel.
I was just simply jet lagged as fuck after like a 15-hour flight from Japan. So yeah, don't.
Oh, and you probably can't fly over Russia right now, right? You have to like properly avoid it.
Like we didn't. So we had to fly over the North Pole. So it took us like an extra, I don't know, 3+ hours or something like that. It was.
I mean, you barely touch on the north of Russia anyway, I would guess. But yeah, you have to completely go around
it's
it.
pretty intense. Like Russia, like everyone thinks of Russia like it's Moscow and a little bit of land, but it's like so much land past that, right? Like the whole like east side of Russia is just it's.
Is that what everyone thinks?
That's at least what I thought.
Did you know that east of the Ural Mountains, there's this whole other place?
So much land, like yeah, like.
I would love to go there, by the way. Like completely, like East Siberia, like Novosibirsk, Krasnoyarsk, all those places. That's just like so
oh my goodness.
away from it. Did you know that when I was going to say the Romans, oh my god, I'm sorry, ancient Egypt. When the ancient Egypts built the pyramids, there was still like a whole colony of mammoths around on, I don't remember the name, but it's an island in Siberia. Like the whole last mammoth and the ancient Egypts, I guess, they coexisted kinda in the world.
Oh
they
shit, that's
really
crazy.
each other.
It's also crazy that you just said that like that's the part of the Earth you wanna go visit, because that's like literally the least attractive place on Earth, I think, because like Siberia is so freezing cold, right? Like it's not like Germany.
It's actually not that bad in winter. Like it's not that bad in winter, really.
Isn't that a place where it gets like minus like 1 trillion degrees like in winter?
Yeah, but it's also like continental climate, so it's like if you go there in summer, it's really not that bad. I mean, if you go to the very north, yes, it's probably going to be bad all the time. But
yeah, but we are this is January 10th, and like I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not going tomorrow, Kai. I still have a trade fair to do by the end of the month, by the way. Oh my god, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that.
In Siberia.
In Siberia, yes, you got it. Yes, I'm going to be at the Krasnoyarsk travel market. Hit me up at booth 105.
I mean, that's the reason why there's no magic events in Siberia, right? Like just
there might actually be.
God damn it.
I think the size has something to do with it, and being far away from everything else. The players.
You know, my colleague and I, we were actually talking about that the other week, because he does what he calls skiing safaris, which is just like you go to the mountains and you ski, and they call it a safari. And there was like an opportunity in the past to go to Kamchatka, which is like that peninsula on the very, very east. Like it's actually, there might be even some people saying, actually, let's not get into that. Anyway, but yeah, it's in the very, very far east of why are we talking about this?
Yeah, I've just zoned out. Like, why are we talking about Siberia?
Because of the flight route, right? Like, yeah.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, it's like usually flights from like Central Europe to Japan or to Singapore or Hong Kong are about like 12-13 hours or so. But like this time it was like 15 hours, which is it was pretty intense. Like normally you can finish like about 4 movies, and you have a little bit of like food. I think you get like food served twice during the flight. But this time I finished 1 more movie, and yeah.
Ooh, hashtag rate the airline. Which airline did you go?
So like it was NAA. No, ANA.
All Nippon Airways?
Yeah, All Nippon. Oh my goodness, I'm so bad at this. It's like the biggest air. Anyway, so I ended up watching like the same movie twice, just to be sure. Like I watched Bohemian Rhapsody, which was already a mistake because it's like so much about music and the songs, right? And then you watch it on the airplane with like the crappiest headphones ever.
Did you not bring your own?
No, like it's the ones you have to plug in. Like you have to physically plug in. Like and no one has those headphones these days.
Yeah, the thing is, most like of the higher end brands they sell connectors. I think I got when I got my Sennheisers, they got me a connector that actually allows you to plug into the airplane one.
Oh shit.
That's
okay.
Anyway, you will know for next time. You can
that's
buy those.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, but anyway, like so the reason why I went to Japan was kind of unclear, and it still is, because there was no particular reason for me to go there except like just going back to meet friends and eat
because we are
and eat truckloads of food, but that's exactly what happened this time. And like now that I think back, I think that's probably now, if not the best reason to go visit a country, maybe. Like
I was gonna say, like, to me that sounds the most amazing thing. Like you just felt like doing it, and so you did it.
Yeah, but like I think most people get really excited when they go like sightsee stuff, or when they go to a country they have never been before. So for me, it's exactly the opposite. Where I think I've almost never been to a country where I don't know at least 1 or 2 people, right? Like locals basically, and it's mostly like 99% because of magic. But yeah, this time is especially. It was almost like gaining back the time when I lived there for like 8-9 years.
Oh, you're getting nostalgic.
Yeah, dude. Like we met with the same people. We went to the same bars. We went to the same stores. We played the same stupid legacy decks, and
does Japan still have like arcades around where you can play like Street Fighter?
Yeah,
and
they
stuff?
are like the retro ones. Yeah, the old ones. They're still there.
Have you ever been
still
there?
Yeah, I've been to 2 of them. The one is in Takarado-Baba, which is in like about 5 minutes from the tournament center Haruya, and the other one is in Ueno. But like they're both pretty hidden, right?
I would have guessed that like I don't know, what's the place called, Akihabara, which is like the place every foreigner knows,
yeah.
like the anime center.
Oh man, before I forget, like there were so many foreign people this time in Japan. I think like once they all opened the borders after the pandemic, like people went completely nuts. Shibuya was half white people, I think. And Akihabara, like I didn't hear any Japanese in Akihabara. Like it was a mix of like English and Taiwanese and then a lot of like random stuff like German and whatever.
Can you tell the difference between like Mandarin and like the Taiwan accent dialect of Mandarin?
If you give me 2 more weeks in Akihabara, where I'm literally stuck in Akihabara, I might be able to tell the difference. No, I can't.
But honestly, like I just find it so amazing that you did you go alone, or did you go with your girlfriend?
Yeah, I went there with my girlfriend, but fun fact, we didn't spend a single day together. Yeah, like dude, like not a single day, because like she has her friends and her thingies, like I don't even know what she did, but yeah,
You just met like on the last day in the airport. Hey, did you do the check-in? Yeah, okay, sure.
Dude, it's the kind of it was always at the night, right? So she had her drinking parties and whatnot, and I met up with my friends almost every single day, played a lot of Magic, and we both had to take the last train, because in Japan there is a thing called last train around midnight to make sure that nobody does like crazy overtime work. So so around midnight, like we both get back to the same hotel, and then we went to another bar, just the 2 of us, and just talk for like an hour or 2 about like our days and like what happened and stuff like that. Yeah, stuff like that. But like we didn't spend an actual day together, which is kind of a no-go for most couples.
I don't know, like if you got like a pretty good connection, like it's all the much firmer, right? When you feel like, hey, I can just like go out on my own and do my own thing. Like I know people are very different, and like many years ago, I've once been in a relationship where we had very different expectations about that. Where I also was the guy who wanted to like do stuff on my own with my friends, and she always wanted to like do the opposite thing. And that, I mean, both are fine, but that just like didn't work that well.
Yeah. Like if she showed a little bit of interest in like what the legacy metagame looked like in Japan, we could have maybe like made like an agreement, but as things stand, like she was more interested in like food. Like, and also I was crazy interested in food this time, dude. I ate so much, and I also get a little bit of weight, actually a decent amount of weight, because I was just like I was so busy eating and drinking.
You got to, it's a holiday.
Dude, seriously.
It's called a holiday for a reason, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like, let me tell you, like, to tell you guys two secret tips, what to do when you go to Japan, right? Like in regards of food, right? So, first of all, first tip is you don't ever eat on the airplane, right? So if you're on the way to Japan, don't you touch that food on the airplane. Because like I ended up not eating at all on the airplane, and I was starving to death when I got out. And so I went out of the airport, and then I went to literally the first ramen restaurant, and I came. So that was good. That was good.
Is that like some kind of like ramen chain that you go to, or is it just like could be
I
any
think
place?
like the first ramen didn't matter. Any ramen would probably do because you were starving, and like the worst food in Japan is already better than the best food in most European countries, except maybe Italy. It's so good. It's so damn good.
Okay.
Like it's like the bar is so high.
And what are the prices? Because I heard the yen is like doing not very well, so that would be like really good for people from Europe, for example.
Oh yeah, and everything was for free, basically. Like it felt like for free.
They should advertise that. Like that tourism bureau would be like absolutely cyber. Like they should put that on the box. Like when you buy the ticket, all the food
it's
in
free.
Japan
Just
is free.
take it.
Socialism Wonderland
and free
perfect.
refill. Yeah.
yeah.
It's double free.
Yeah, I thought. But you that was your first step.
So
what's the second one?
Yeah, and then the second one is you have to eat small portions, right? So there's so much good food in Japan that you don't want to waste. Or like, you don't want to eat this too much of the same food because there's just like so much other good food in Japan. So I ended up eating like only small portions, and that way you can kind of eat like 5 times per day.
Dude, that's just like a new type of cuisine, like Spanish Japanese fusion.
Yeah,
I mean, it's already kind of like that, right? When you go to like one of these sushi restaurants that have like this pre-made menu where they give you like 20 different pieces,
exactly,
and they're all somewhat different.
It's like queuing into like 5 small events with like 5 different decks instead of like playing like.
It's way more. Exciting.
It's way more exciting than playing like one.
Oh yeah, you bring like 5 decks, and every round you have to play a different deck.
That'd be so cool. That'd be so. I mean, depends.
That would be so expensive.
I mean, like, what decks would you pick though?
It's more fun.
I would pick one deck that would be completely like horrible. Like that would be the rule of the tournament, right? One of your decks has to be completely horrible, and then on the off chance that you queue into somebody else who's also like forced to play their shit deck, that would be something.
D&T mirrors everywhere.
Imagine like if you play for top 8 and it's like this really big tournament, and then all of a sudden like you literally have your Treefolk control deck, and you're like, oh my fucking god. Right.
Treefolk versus Jeskai.
I'm on the Timber Protector side.
That's a close one though. Like imagine if the Treefolk deck also has like some secret like hosers. Like some of the green cards are like ridiculously powerful against blue control decks.
Timber Protector against Supreme Verdict. Not even a fight.
Imagine Wood Elemental coming in, sacking your oil forests, make it big, and then Teferi just bounces it.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Worth it. Hashtag worth it. Awesome. Yeah. Oh man, dude, you make me want to go so much. Like Japan, basically, is pretty much on the very top of my bucket list, and I'm actually thinking about where I want to go because. Like right now, we get so many calls at work and like emails and everything from people who are planning their year's worth of vacation right now. And a lot of places are even like completely sold out, but that's more like, I guess, holiday resorts and stuff. Like Japan doesn't really sell out, does it?
Yeah.
Sorry, we have to close the country. Too many foreigners. Oh, actually, some countries do that, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like I think Japan now had like the last couple of years, when probably because of the pandemic, it looked kind of empty, like the whole country, right? Because I think Japan constantly and always has a decent amount of tourists, like in the major cities, right? Like Kyoto, Osaka, Tokyo. And
Have you ever been to Kyoto?
Yeah, I top-8 a GP once in that city.
That counts. Actually, in Magic terms, that doesn't count. I've been to many cities where I like top-8 a tournament and I haven't seen anything of the city other than the airport and the convention center.
I gotta double check though. Maybe the hall was like in some weird suburb, maybe.
Maybe you didn't actually top 8, but you did see the city.
Oh shit, yeah.
I mean, the closer you get to top 8, the less you actually see of the city. Like the people who really know about their stuff, they're the ones who go like O2 drop. Right. Did I tell you that story? Sorry to interrupt you. Did I tell you the story about a friend of mine, Christoph Alzheimer, who went to Ovino Geddon, which is like, it used to be this really big tournament in Italy. And he went along with his girlfriend. And so his girlfriend wouldn't be bored because like who wants to sit there and watch him play for 2 days? Even though he played Doomsday, but yeah. They also brought another friend who was supposed to play in the tournament, who also brought his girlfriend, and they would go off and explore the city. But now, as it happens, that other friend couldn't come on very short notice. So all of a sudden, he was in Italy, in Milan, with his girlfriend, and her company basically wasn't there. So he was like, I have to not play in the tournament, and then they explored Milan for the entire weekend. And honestly, maybe that was the better choice, but I can't tell you. But I could see it. Like he was even like there at the site for a very quick moment at the beginning of the tournament, and he just told us, "Yeah, I'm not playing. I'm exploring the Duomo and everything."
That's the gentleman move, definitely.
Yeah, I was impressed. Actually, I gotta say.
Yeah, can't say I know much about Kyoto. In fact, like. Only saw the station, I think, and that teeny tiny hotel room the entire weekend. But then like I don't even know if that was Kyoto. But at the same time, like if you can't, like if you do proper marketing, you can't go like, hey, this is GP farmland behind
GP,
Tokyo.
Yeah, GP Allershausen or something. Yeah, that would be a charm.
It's like heck yeah.
Yeah. Cool. But do you want to stay longer? It's like on the table that you will go back to Tokyo or something? Because you sound so happy about it.
Yeah, like I gotta say, like I every time I go there, like I'm super excited because Japan offers a lot of things that I personally value a lot, which is like lots of tournaments, good food, good company. Also, like. I also constantly want to improve my Japanese, like to a certain degree, and then my Japanese definitely got worse over like the
I
last
thought you like
year
graduated from kindergarten level, like when you came back for the first time.
Yeah.
Now you're like, I don't know, like middle schooler. Now
but
you use like all the cringy terms. Like, do you use some like cringy Japanese slang?
Yeah, sometimes like some baby Japanese slips out of my mouth, like every 5 minutes or so. But yeah. Like to strangers, it might be a little like confusing.
Like, what is a word that like Japanese babies would use that no adult would ever use?
So like most guys call themselves like ore. Ore means is just the male word for me or I. Yeah. I still use the baby version, which is boku, because I've always said it like that, and it's strange. I think I'm probably like one of the I don't know, like 3% of males in Japan that still keep saying boku instead of ore. But hey, that's me.
Okay, cool.
The country's insane, right? Like it's like Tokyo is literally heaven for Magic players. Company's great, food's great. One thing I immediately noticed that is definitely a downgrade in Japan is space, right? Like, so if you feel uncomfortable being like, I don't know, like tiny hotel rooms maybe, or narrow streets or so, yeah.
Dude, I've seen the bars in like Golden Guy, which is like they're like 1.5 meters wide or something.
Dude, yeah.
Like and when you walk in there, like you sit shoulder to shoulder with the guy next to you.
Yeah, dude. Like there's like one rule in Japan. Like if you're fat, you're fucked.
You don't fit into the bar.
You're literally fucked, right? Like you can't enter most of the bars just because. So that
like you know what? Like when they have roller coasters where they are like, okay, you must be this tall to ride on this. Like on the bars, they have like, you must be this slim to get to the bar or something.
Like they should have it at the airport already. Where like you can't enter the country of this size. It's just
isn't that actually a thing that they have like government mandated regular health checkups? If you live in Japan every year or something, you must do a health checkup, and you get graded on your health and stuff.
Yep, did it every year.
That's like America's up, like they have their heads exploding because of that. Like that would be completely unthinkable. Like that would even be unthinkable in Germany, I think.
Yeah, but then you also look at the people and they're like, they look so good. They look so good. They're all in shape for the most part. I don't know, man. And then I'm come back to Germany, and like half of the people here look like potatoes.
Like wood elemental.
Yeah, like wood elementals.
Sacrificed on the forest.
But then they're also like, there are also like other bad things about Japan, right? I think Japan is still, like this is like a big topic which I only want to scratch the surface, right? Like Japan is a really like still racist country, I want to say, because it's an island, right? And it doesn't have like any direct neighbors.
Like Callum looks around. Oh,
yeah.
Hey, I'm not going to defend England for anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
Neither will I.
But like I can, because I've witnessed it myself, right? Like Japanese don't treat me as a full Japanese, which has been an issue a few times, especially in combination with like work, or if you want to find an apartment or things like that, it might get a little harder.
Even for you?
Yeah, man. Like it was not that easy. Like not every time. Sometimes I got away with something, but because they kind of expect me to fully understand everything and to fully like act like one of them, but I don't necessarily.
And you mean like also like cultural norms and stuff?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Like sometimes I forget to, I don't know, like to bow for the second or third time, or
dude, I was actually gonna make a joke. Like, did you not bow enough times? But apparently, okay.
That's dude, I was gonna bring that up as a joke. I think for the next time, like you should probably like bow like 10 times per person, just to be 100% sure.
Whom do you bow to? Like when you go to the tournament center, do you like bow to your opponent and stuff?
You do. Like, oh wow. Yeah, I mean, it's not just like a little bit of a gesture, but
you just like, okay, you nod your head, kinda.
Yeah.
Or.
Yeah, okay, just have a good game, right? Like you don't do a handshake, for example, in Japan.
Yeah, I think handshakes have also kind of not died out here, but it's more like fist bumps.
Right. Yeah, or maybe like no physical contact for the most part.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then there's also like other things, right? Like, for example, I think you guys saw it in the news, but there was like this gigantic earthquake in Ishikawa on January 1st, for example.
Dealt a lot of damage to all non-flying creatures. Like quite literally, I guess.
I mean, like I was praying for the people in Ishikawa, and I also got a lot of comments from people on Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. Fortunately, like the Tokyo area was safe, but like there are things like constant earthquakes in Japan, and like I think an airplane crashed and burned down at Haneda Airport on January 2nd, like the day after. So like it was a kind of like a rough start.
Yeah, like on the first day of January, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like I constantly hear that Japan is actually due for like some giant, I don't know, super earthquake that's supposed to happen in the next 10, 15 years or something.
Yep.
And like people are actually like moving away from Japan because of that, because they feel like I do that, if this hits, I don't want to be there.
Yeah. Like, I think that like the scariest thing, one of my best buddies in Tokyo just told or like showed me, he got like a metal case for his whole magic collection. It's like a briefcase, but it's like full metal and has like locks and things. And he was like, yeah, so I basically shrink my magic collection size so it can fit that suitcase. And I will always keep all the cards in there just in case if like any emergency big earthquake happens, that I can like rush out with that suitcase. And
it has like a GPS tracker wallet inside it and everything.
Like yeah, like screw the clothes and all the other things, but like my decks now.
Yeah, I mean for a lot of people that's just like a six-figure sum probably. So you would otherwise keep this in the bank, but you can't really. But maybe that's the future.
Right. So
I mean, people have rented bank vaults, right, in the past. So for magic cards.
Oh yeah, totally. So yeah, like all in all, I think there's no perfect country, I think, but Japan has, god damn it, like Japan.
The Swiss would probably disagree. Like people are like. But yeah, so Switzerland has their own set of problems.
Yeah,
very much so, even. But yeah, dude, you really make me want to go. And you also got to play a lot of Magic, right? Not a lot. I don't know how much is Magic, but I know you played at least like 1 or 2 tournaments. Or how many did you actually play?
Yeah, I played in 2 tournaments.
A day, because, probably. That's how he is.
Right. I think like in one of the earlier episodes, like I talked about like how many Magic tournaments happen every single day and like so many different stores at the same time. It's crazy, dude. Like tell me one city where they fire like 3 and up to 4 legacy events at the same time in the same city, and they all get like, I don't know,
there just isn't. Right?
Yeah, like 6 rounds each, and
that's crazy.
I mean, if it's gonna happen somewhere, it's gonna be like the biggest city on earth, but that's still like so incredibly impressive.
And I was always wondering, like why do they not like go to the same tournament and make it like a big one?
I mean, I guess like because all the different places want their own share of the business, right? I mean, if they all belong to the same. On the other hand, like if it's a weekday, you don't really want to play more than 6 rounds, right? I guess.
Yeah.
Like if you have it like. Yeah, that's just like.
Well, that's where you're wrong, buddy.
That's where I'm wrong, buddy. Yeah.
Lots of people will just play so much.
They would completely game their life. Or why, like, okay, like, I want to reduce the hours on my shop. Why? Oh, because I need to play more Magic.
But like, there are like so many events now that you get to a point where you become too lazy to go to the other part of the city just because there's like another tournament just like right across the street.
That's what I was gonna say, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's so easy to go there, it's just kind of funny because every time you talk about that, it's just like a world that's so removed from the, I guess, Western consciousness, because we always talk about, hey, remember like 10, 15 years ago, the golden age of legacy coverage, like SCG and all that kind of stuff. Oh, we kind of got that, but not really anymore. And then like you switch over, like the scene changes, Star Wars cut to Tokyo. It's just like gate tournaments all around everywhere. Do they actually stream those tournaments? Like probably not the weekday ones, but on the weekends. I think there's this like Big Mac Magic or something.
Yeah.
What's it called? Big Magic?
Big Magic, yeah.
Close enough.
No, like streams were kind of popular, I think, like 10 years ago or so. And I mean, there's still like streams of the God of Legacy or God of Modern or God of really anything, but not too much these days, I think. There's also like definitely not enough like written coverage. I think the golden age of written coverage is kind of over, maybe.
Yeah, but that was even further in the past, right? It's kind of more pure almost. Like people just like go there and they play because they really enjoy the fuck out of it, and that's just like not even like some kind of like glory hunting or something. It's just like, dude, I just love playing this game so much. Let me play more.
It's a lot of like muscle memory, and people want to get their reps in without like thinking too much.
You know, you should put something together where you act as a tour guide. Like you put out like a set date, and then you sell trips to Japan. You're gonna be the tour guide, and you're gonna take like a legacy crowd of like, I don't know, 30 players to tournaments all over Tokyo for 2 weeks long.
Oh, I want to do that.
Then you take like basically like, I don't know, like a 16% commission or something.
No, they're just all gonna scoop to me then if they get paid. That's it.
We call it game fixing, car. You bring in your own.
I
think you're not allowed to do that, but don't quote me on it.
Yeah, like as long as there's no judge on the tour bus, I think.
You know, somebody in chess kind of did that. I think it was Ali Reza.
Really?
Who he. I'm very, very, very much shortening this. So by the end of last year, you know how in chess they have the candidates tournament? I guess you don't if you don't know chess, but so in order to, this is super flavorful, by the way, this is actually exactly what you do for God of Legacy. In order to find out who will become the next world champion, all the other players in the world, they play a tournament, or rather the best, I think 8 or 10 players in the world, they play a tournament, and the winner of that tournament can then challenge the world champion. And then if that person wins, they become the next world champion. And in order to qualify for the candidates tournament, there are a couple of regulations, and one of them is the highest ELO rating. And there was one guy who was like, I think a couple of points short on the ELO rating to make it. And he was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna have my own tournament organized on super short notice in my backyard, and turns out I'm gonna win all of my matches except for the very last one, which completely fucked him because he drew the last one. And the most hilarious part is that tournament was so staged, the other players didn't even play their matches. But yeah,
nice,
they still kind of tried, and he ended up drawing the last match. So he had to go to another amateur tournament in France, like on super short notice, won that, and that gave him just enough elo to qualify for the candidates tournament. So I mean, people were making fun of him, but on the other side, like the rules are pretty messed up to allow that in the first place. So yeah, it kind of reminded me of, do you guys remember, that was like 10, 12 years ago, where you could qualify for Pro Tour Hawaii by being the best Friday Night Magic player in the world?
Really?
Yeah.
But that
you don't remember that?
But that's only one player, right?
I think it was like 2 or 4, like a very, very, very small number. So you could you could earn Planeswalker points or something at Friday Night Magic tournaments. And Wizards was like, you know what, we're gonna promote play in FNM, and we're gonna give invites to, I want to say, the 2 best or the 2 most accomplished FNM players of an entire year. And you know, a lot of people were like, okay, I'm not gonna be that. But there were some people who went really fucking deep, and they played on average more than 1 FNM every week. I think it might have even been more than 2, because they figured it out that in some cities they actually have FNM on Friday, and then some shops actually already do FNM on Thursday. So they played in like both FNMs, and they did that for every single weekend. And at some tournaments, they even played 2 because it lined up. So the people who went to Pro Tour Hawaii based on that FNM invite, they grinded their hearts out for an entire year just playing FNM every single week, multiple times.
Is that where the term FNM warrior comes from?
It
must be.
If not, it would have been coined by then.
Truly a warrior.
Let me look at the FNM PT invite Pro Tour Hawaii. When was that? Oh my god. 75th commemoration of end of World War II aircraft? How the fuck, Google? Why did you take me there? Oh, I should have put Friday Night Magic invite Hawaii. That was in... oh my god. Okay, never mind. That was... It doesn't say where it was.
A long, long time ago.
Must have been a
on
really
a planet
long time
far,
ago.
far away.
But somebody listening will figure this out.
Yep, perfect.
Anyway, this is how
we
I
bring you
know
the
how
most
you can...
cutting edge news.
Yeah, this is really, guys. This is one of the most fucked up podcast episodes in that sense, because there's really not much to talk about, but we still wanted to get together. And actually, Kai, tell us, like you almost became a god of Legacy of Vintage.
Yeah,
like, what happened there?
That was a crazy event. So on December 29th, 2 days after I landed in Japan, there was the God of Vintage, right? And as I mentioned in like one of the early episodes, like you have the God of Standard, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, even Commander, Pioneer, 4 times a year, once per season. So that's like a lot of events if you grind a lot of different formats, right? And it happened so that the God of Vintage was happening during the 2 weeks when I went to Japan, and I just sleeved up my I dusted off my old Legacy Vintage Doomsday deck, which I haven't updated in like a year or something, and I top 8'd that event.
I mean, this is how the best stories happen, where people are like, dude, I haven't played in years. I just like took this deck and I switched one sideboard card. I don't even know which card it was for. I had to read all of my opponent's cards, and somehow I ended up in the top 8.
Obviously, I play a little bit of Magic Online Vintage, and the only paper Vintage in all of 2023 was together with you guys at Four Seasons.
Oh
yeah. That was the only paper Vintage I played in all of 2023.
That's all you need, apparently, or you need a little bit more. Is what I'm getting at.
If you guys need another Vintage player, no, not me again as the Vintage player.
We've come full circle. Next time,
you'll
be Vintage, won't you?
You should be in Vintage. Yeah, that's probably the best
perfect. Yeah, so you have a God of Vintage top 8. Okay, anyway. So
you're a demigod.
Yeah, like a minion monk.
I was trying to be nice. All right, you're a minion of Vintage.
Yeah, and the God of Vintage, it's basically what you, Julian, just described, right? Like it's a large tournament where people have to play like Swiss rounds, and then it's a top 8, and then the winner gets to challenge the current god. And I gotta read into the rules again, but I think like every time the current god gets challenged, I think that god doesn't even matter if that person like wins or loses, like gets like about 100k yen, I think, per event, which is like it's about like $1,000 US. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you lose, then you lose the title of the god. If you keep winning that best of 5 against a new challenger, like every time you show up, you just get like 1k US dollars basically.
Dude, I mean, be honest, right? That God of Vintage tournament happened when I was traveling back. Yeah, that's what you tell your girlfriend. Like, seriously. Oh my God, can you imagine? I even brought my vintage deck. What a coincidence.
Yeah. It just happened to be in my suitcase, man. Like,
as it always does, yeah. Dude, I hope it's not in your suitcase, by the way.
But I also have to talk a little bit of shit about this series, because this prize payout might look insane, but it's actually not that good. Like, so I finished 8 and I basically got my entry back.
So they spent all the money on the gods?
I think so. Or I don't know where the money goes, but it like if you want to join a God of whatever tournament to cash, that's, you should probably not enter that tournament, because like you will do better in other tournaments, I think.
I mean, the thing is, you also didn't get a lot of players this time, right? I think you got like 65 or something from what I saw.
It was like it was 57 players. Yeah.
Oh, even smaller. Yeah, 57.
Right. It really depends on the format, right? Like in Modern, you get like 300 plus players, or same in Legacy. I think they had like more than 300, I think, last time or so.
Okay. So it's like card availability for Vintage an issue. I guess prices in Japan are also super high for like power and stuff.
So there are no proxy events. Mm-hmm. You have to buy all your stuff, and like I think for the Tokyo area, like to have 57 and probably even more Vintage players, like, you know, have like a sleeved a deck sleeved up is kind of impressive, I think, given that given how expensive the format is. But yeah, the competition was really high. In the top 8, we got Tsubasa Cat, I think is his name on Magic Online.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, on Magic Online.
Yeah. It's not his name. I think he's like a half Japanese, half American, I think, and 25 years old. Super young player.
I like how you emphasized 25 years old. I was like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Oh, because all the other players are like in the mid 30s or 40s, right? Like,
yeah, that's young to be playing with power and getting it, I guess.
Yeah.
Is there in Japan? Is there like a Magic generation, like what we call Sumas, like the new kids who are just like challenging established, at least the idea behind established norms about how to build decks and play them?
Yeah,
they take the money from all the old guys.
Yeah, they kind of show up everywhere, right?
Is that a thing? Okay.
Not as much as in the States, I think, but they definitely do exist. Yeah, they definitely do exist. But I think in Japan, you have so many other options. I think you don't necessarily have to play Magic, right? Like, you can play any of the other thousands of Japanese card games and do well.
Okay, like, by the way, as we are completely Magic derailing this episode anyway, what are the I want to say most popular favorite pastimes in Japan? Like, what are like the number one sports and stuff that people do there?
Like,
is soccer like? I know baseball is popular, right?
Oh, baseball and soccer, definitely those two. Okay. Also tennis, definitely not basketball.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think it's probably like 50-60% plus like baseball, I think. Like, even if you want to play a trading card game, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be Magic. Like, you have so many other good choices, and
they're like so extreme.
Yeah, they're like
you got basically everything there.
Yeah,
is there anything like they don't have when it comes to like even Japan? Like, Japan is like, I don't know, skiing. So I guess people don't really go to the beach in Japan, I heard.
I mean, you can still do that if you want to, but I think.
If you want to, just you're not selling it very well, dude. Like, if one of my clients asked me, hey, in this place, can I go to the beach there? And then I'd be like, if you want to. It's like, yeah, dude, sell me on this.
It's poisoned, but
oh yeah.
No, I don't know. I have to think about it. There has to be something that's really hard to come by in Japan. There has to be something.
Well, we figure it out at some point. Anyway, so you played in that tournament. You picked Doomsday, and like I was following your progress on Twitter because I couldn't sleep that night. So
because
at some point,
success.
Yeah, at some point you got like, I think you started off like really well, and then you got a loss or something, and then you like didn't tweet anymore, and I was like, "Fuck, man!" Was hanging.
That moment, right? Like when someone stops tweeting their result, it's usually like, okay, well, it's lights out. But no, I was just really busy playing, and I think I almost went to time. I think in one of the later rounds. Dude, I was not prepared for that meta game too. Like if you don't play a lot of Vintage, you still might think that you have a decent shot because Vintage doesn't change all that much, but boy, I was really wrong about that. That Jewel shop stack is no joke. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's such a monster. Oh my goodness, dude. Like this deck is just so
Did you watch the US Eternal Weekend top 8?
Yeah, I think the deck took down the event, right?
Yeah, it did. And there was like, I think half of it was that, half of it was Oath. But the matches of that on camera, it like just did. Like even the mirrors, like they both did such disgusting vintagey things to each other.
Yeah. I've never seen like Phyrexian Metamorph being like this good. Oh my goodness. It pitches to force, and it becomes like another Jewel, and like Mishra's Workshop, like I think the biggest change maybe in Vintage, like that's just like my gut feeling, is that Mishra's Workshop got such a boost, I think, during the last like year or so, because initially I think Mishra's Workshop used to be this like prison land that only there are only like 5 or 6 playables that you can cast of a Mishra's Workshop, but these days you can also cast like this ridiculous card advantage machines,
like the ring, right?
Yeah, like the One Ring.
Jewel. But yeah, you used to be able to play 4 Sphere, 4 Thorn, 4 Chalice of the Void as well, and 4 Lodestone Golem. That's been cut down a bit.
Yeah, I mean that was also a crazy era back then.
Yeah.
Like 4 Loathsome, like what the hell?
I don't remember. I mean, I'm not a Vintage expert.
Hello.
Trinity Sphere as well, yeah. I don't remember there being. I'm sure there were some, but like really any blue like decks with Force Wall and Mishra's Workshop. There was some probably brews and stuff. I'm sure I'm missing something. Maybe Slaver had sometimes, but no. Now there's this like Tinker shop stacks and stuff. Like it's just playing all the most broken cards. And
in a way, I kind of want to say this is like Fire Mud or Fire Workshops or something because it's so over the top. As you mentioned, right? I remember when the beauty of those decks was, you had these broken lock pieces or spheres or whatever, like when you could play like basically 12 spheres when you had Trinity Sphere and like spheres resistance and everything, but then you would attack your opponent with like, I don't know, like Slash Panther or like even
Heck yeah.
like Triskelion for a very long time was still like a 4 in these decks. Fucking Triskelion, 6 mana for that shit, and that was like a thing in Vintage for a long time going. And I mean, that's completely unthinkable these days. I say that as I need to click on the list. There's no Triskelion. No, there hasn't been Triskelion in these decks in years.
I mean, yeah, but that was also like an area where people played like Goblin Welder and Dark Confidant and
true,
right? Like things you definitely want to ping. Like that Triskelion like kills 3 Dark Confidants. It's not a bad deal if you think about that. But,
your opponent's 3 Dark Confidence. That's the one thing I don't want to see. But yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? In a format with like Moxen and stuff, that Dark Confident isn't even remotely a card anymore. Or like I can't even think like.
It was recently actually.
Is it?
Yeah, it was in like Blue Black Luris.
Okay, yeah.
It's not in every list because it does die to Bowmasters, but like you can imagine the list is just Blue Black Luris with Bowmasters and Dark Confidence, and the spicy one of Skullclamp to get off Saga, which I love so much. But like Dark Confident in these mirrors, like I don't know, you're trying to counter Bowmasters anyway, so like lean into it.
Okay,
kind of funny. Okay, yeah, I was thinking Dark Confident, but you get around Bowmasters, right? So if you can like dodge it and then you get it down, just like doesn't matter.
True.
Okay. I've always been a lover of these bug mid-range decks. I think that this is where I had some of my best winnings and stuff in basically all these Vintage tournaments, where I played like bug mid-range with like Deathwatch Shaman, Dark Confident, and I think
it was always called Fish in Vintage, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's basically a concept of a fish deck.
Yeah, very cool. I loved playing them as well. We used to have like kind of GPTs like at one of our locals years ago, and we had vintage ones sometimes. God knows why. And I would just play like Grixis cards I owned with no power, and obviously do pretty badly, but it's just fun, like playing Bobs and DRCs and stuff. DRC, DRS, yeah.
DRS, yeah.
Yeah.
Fun Callum was from the future, like he's playing this Dragon Rage. Like,
this is pretty good.
Not bad. It's not bad. Yeah.
But yeah, Kai, you ended up like losing a match, and then you were able to, I think, draw into the top 8 or something.
Dude, I almost drew myself into 9th place. Oh my goodness, dude. I was like so lazy doing the math, and also I'm so terrible at that sort of math in general. I got super lucky to,
I mean, everybody who does well in Vintage to a certain degree gets like pretty lucky. It's basically on even like Vintage and Magic in general. Like if you want to hit the tops of the tournament, like lucky is what gets you over the next step. But being prepared is just like number one.
Mm-hmm. But gosh, like Vintage is such a fun format. If you play it every now and then, like Justin Gennari is crazy. Like I couldn't play Vintage every single day. Most of the time, there are also like non-games, right? Like let's say like you're on the draw and you have a Forcible and a blue card, and that's just not enough, for example. And yeah, your opponent has like the absolute nuts, and that doesn't really happen in Legacy. And I feel like if variance becomes like too much of a thing, then it can kind of.
But the thing is, like, variance is okay if you can, like, basically, in a lot of ways, a good competitive game is a function of the impact variance has versus how long it takes to play a single game. Because, for example, you take poker, right? But playing a single hand of poker is very fast compared to, like, proper games. So you can you can repeat that kind of variance, like, many, many times in a row, and then that's how the top players rise to the top. Whereas if you wanted to like counteract the variance in Magic, and especially in Vintage, you would need to play so many matches to make it easier for the top players to float to the top. And I mean, they still do kinda, but it's just like Magic games take too long in a way. So the variance has a much bigger impact. But yeah, I can only go back and tell you to watch Rounders, because Rounders actually has that beautiful quote about like how some people, even pros, won't play, in this case, Vintage. They can't handle the swings. And that's yeah. Anyway, movie recommendation, one of the biggest movie recommendations I can give you here, and to you guys as well, Rounders. Definitely watch it. We need to make some kind of watch party at some point, because Rounders, one of the best.
Yeah, after we've watched...
there were a couple more. I gave you so many recommendations, but you know what I recently watched? I just like 2 days ago I watched what's it called? Stupid German names.
The Big Lebowski?
Spirited Away.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good movie.
Time.
It's from Japan, right?
Yeah, it's Studio Ghibli. Yeah, very much.
Yeah, good German.
Yeah, loved it very much. It's actually the first time I watched it.
Oh, really?
I should have watched it earlier.
That's good stuff. Yeah, it's really good stuff.
I'm going to watch more of that stuff. Like the first thing I actually watched of the predecessor studio of Studio Ghibli is the Last Unicorn, which I watched like 30 years ago or something. So I guess that also counts. Anyway, we got tracked completely off topic, which is the theme. This is not the theme for the podcast for the rest of the year, but it's very much the theme for today.
It's just a chill New Year's start one.
Exactly. Yeah. And as Kai makes his way into a top 8, despite like he's like just like, I don't care about Twilight Breaker Mouth. Let's just like draw. Yeah,
let's just draw. But like the top 8 was super stacked. Like we also had the
everybody played Power, right?
Yeah.
Except for the Dredge guy.
Yeah, everyone. I think except the Dredge guy, Shioka. He finished 9th on Breakers at Eternal Weekend Asia, apparently, like a couple of like months ago. Yeah, with Dredge. Oh my goodness, dude! Like I felt so sorry during that story. But yeah, I played against him in Swiss, and it was pretty intense, because he was on Bazaar of Baghdad, Dredge, right? And he mulliganed down to 2 cards in game number 3.
You gotta do it.
And you gotta do it. Yeah, well, I did the Doomsday thing.
Sweet.
So, but yeah, overall, I think that the top 8 metagame was kind of like quote unquote healthy, because there was no deck in particular that really stood out. Like, we had like
2 Doomsdays, everything else is different, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I took a quick look. I think there's, depending on like how you want to qualify like bug mid-range versus bug control, but other than that, I think like the top 16 might be like 14 or 15 different decks. Something
I do
want
to just like touch on the ninth place deck because it's pretty sick. It's
called Artifacts Blue by Kitano Takatoshi.
Yeah.
But it has 4 Sicarian Infiltrator, which is another Warhammer card, but like 4 of. This is a blue artifact creature. And
I don't even know what that does. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, I had to just read it and remind myself. So it's a 3 mana, so 2 and a blue to cast, and it's a 1/2 with flash, artifact creature, human soldier. It has, when Sicarian Infiltrator enters the battlefield, draw a card, and it has Squad 2. Squad is an ability that was just in the Warhammer cards, which is, as an additional cost to cast the spell, you may pay 2 mana any number of times. Squad is 2 on all the cards, I believe, and you create that many tokens that are copies of it. So it's kind of like Replicate, I think.
Basically, like the first one is 3, and then all the additional copies are 2. Yeah, that's the easy way to phrase it, I think.
They're all 2. Oh, you mean the actual cards cast is 3, and then everything else is 2.
I think you pay 3, and then you can pay any amounts of 2, and you get copies of it.
Yeah, cool. So it's like, a 3 mana 1/2 flash, draw a card, or a 5 mana 2/1/2 flash, draw a card, blah blah. So it's pretty cool that you can cast it with Workshop and like big Tolarian academies.
Oh, that's sick. That's actually pretty sick.
Yeah. So 9th place here, which I guess is on Breakers. The rest of it
I'm
is
not
like
convinced, honestly.
No, but
it's like
cool.
2 mana to draw a card on Vintage. I mean, the big upside is that you get it off Workshop, sure, but it's still like an awkward thing.
Yeah.
But what do I know, honestly?
There's also Chaos Defiler, which is pretty sick to like transmute artifact into, I guess.
Yeah. Good card.
Yeah. This deck is just like, it's pretty wild. The rest is blue stuff. 8 forces, negations, and wills, obviously. There's like a random Steel Sabotage, Flusterstorm, and Chain of Vapor. There's no black, so like no tutors to get them, so you just gotta raw dog draw them. There's like a Paradox engine, I guess, and 4 rings is like the draw engine, I suppose. It's pretty cool. Like, just
what the fuck is this Ruck of Smothering? Okay, don't look it up. Do any of you guys know what Ruck of Smothering?
Okay,
the
fine.
2 of inside
Absolutely zero clue. There is 2 of this card sideboard. No idea.
Okay, imagine what it does. Like you just hear the name. It's called Ruck of Smothering.
It's probably an equipment or something.
Nope. But it's an artifact. Yeah, you already got the artifact part right.
It gives a creature like half flying or something. I don't know.
It's like, no, the creature loses fly and you equip it to your opponent's creatures.
It's not an equipment, guys. It's an artifact creature.
We should work for R&D, Kai. Let's do it.
Okay,
Go on, sorry, Julian.
It's an artifact creature. It costs 3 colorless, and it's a 1/3 flying. And whenever a player casts a spell, they lose 1 life for each spell they've cast this turn.
Ooh.
So I guess it's like anti-PO.
Anti-storm. Oh, yeah.
And I guess it's like the perfect mana for Workshop. I've never seen this card before.
Interesting.
Cool. Is it from the set that brought us White Plume Adventurer?
Yeah, Battle for Baldur's Gate. Yeah, that card seems kind of terrible.
Yeah,
like right? It doesn't have flash or anything. Like you just like poop it out and your opponent's gonna figure it out probably.
It will make a PO player like uncomfortable for a few turns.
Yeah, you know that like this card really reminds me of that I think it's like a Golgar. No, it's an Orsov 3/3 2/2. And I think like every time an opponent plays
Campbell
counts.
Campbell, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
that card is really good in Vintage. At least it used to be at some point.
Yeah.
Yes,
like I hated playing against the card in Vintage.
Like yes and no.
God, I used to play that lovely thing in Phoenix. It was so fun. No, for some reason I really like that card, but it's been power crept out pretty fast. I think of every format.
Mm-hmm. By the way, are we only splashing red for 2 Pyroblast in the sideboard and not playing any other red cards?
Oh yeah. Like
what the fuck? Is that like a typo or something?
Dude, it's like 3 volcanic islands.
That's not even like fetch lands. It's just like straight up 3 volcanic islands, and I guess Mox Ruby and Black Lotus, I guess. Cracked by Black Lotus, Pyroblast,
no
Brainstorm.
Moxopal either.
Okay.
Yeah.
I question that. But I love questioning stuff because I have no idea what I'm talking about.
There's 4 Lorien revealed that gets Volks as well.
Oh, okay. There's also one of Chaos Defiler, which we can spend our red mana on. Okay.
Hey, there we go. It's all coming together.
Okay. Yeah, so it's 3 red lands for
always
3,
trust
3
Kitano.
spells. Nice.
Perfectly balanced. Okay. So you like that deck?
I like it.
It's pretty cool.
I think Sicarian Infiltrator's not great, but
Yeah.
it seems cool and fun. And he came ninth, so fair play.
Yeah, there might be something to it. I don't know. Okay, so Kai, what did you lose to in the top 8? Or did you actually win? Don't spoilers, you did not win the tournament.
Yeah, so in the quarterfinals, I basically lost a close match to the same jewel shop opponent I lost to in the Swiss. So I had like I went in the top 8 with like one loss and one draw, and then I lost quickly right after.
Sorry to interrupt you. That is pretty impressive that you lost to jewel shops in the top 8 because there's no jewel shops in the top 8.
Oh, there is. I think.
Is it?
In the top 8, yeah.
Number 2.
There should be jewel shops.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Where is it? Which place is it?
It's the PO. It's named PO on the
it's named PO. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Never mind.
Right.
Dude, got me.
Like it does it all. It does it all, right? Like it does.
Yeah.
It does jewel things.
I mean, it has PO in it, so yeah, I
Yeah,
guess that counts.
and the ring.
It doesn't strike me as the traditional PO style deck, but yeah, okay, I get it. Dude, that would be totally my kind of deck that I would play.
That deck is so powerful. It's
yeah,
just
it's also-
raw
it's-
power. Like,
It's also kind of difficult to hate, I think. Yeah, like you need Flusterstorms for PO, but then Flusterstorm doesn't work for the jewel, and also doesn't work for the One Ring. And like for example, like game number 1, opponent just went like Mishra's Workshop into the one-off Trinisphere, for example, and I just didn't have the force, and I died quickly after.
yeah.
I like after sideboarding, they just got like 3 Wormcoil engines because they're like, dude, I don't care about all your hate. Here's my turn 2 Wormcoil. GG.
I mean, it gets really worse after sideboard too, because like, you know, they add like Loathsome Golem and Hull Breacher and like all the things you don't want to see as a Doomsday player.
Loathsome Golem on the sideboard. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. this is something.
But like one card I used.
I guess it's for Karen. Sorry to interrupt you there.
But, no, like a card I used a lot during that weekend, and it was a little surprising to me, was like Steel Sabotage. Like that's usually a card you bought in versus, let's say, like Thorn of Amethyst or null rod decks, for example. But I used it as a proactive like a counter basically for the One Ring and like the
that makes a lot of sense,
like
right?
the jewel. Yeah, like artifacts are so big in Vintage.
I mean,
Like,
you got 3 copies of it in the sideboard. Would you consider playing the 4th copy?
probably even like the 5th copy. That card was the card was so good. Yeah.
Dude, there must be some kind of like annul or something. What's it called? Counter target artifact. That's
Steel Sabotage. Is it?
Yeah, but if he wants a 5th copy.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just
Just
play
play
for the
5.
one from Mirrodin. Yes, like play 5. Or like
There's annul. Yeah, annul is
Yeah.
counter target artifact or enchantment.
twin cast or something. No.
No, guys, have some respect for annul. It's from What's the Saga. I love it.
Good
Okay,
card.
it's very dear to me.
Yeah. And I think like Mental Misstep was terrible during the whole event, I think. And maybe you guys have noticed it, but like there are almost no Pyroblasts in Vintage right now.
Yeah.
Like
And Legacy, kind of.
Yeah. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Like Pyroblast is clean and everything, but I think the main reason for, like, at least in Vintage, why people don't play a lot of Blast or like red cards in general is because of mono-white initiative, right? Like all these creatures don't die to Bolt. Like some of them do, but like the big ones don't. And like Lightning Bolt is just not a good removal spell right now.
No, it's made like, well, I know we always come back to Painter on this cast, but like it has made Painter like kind of, where does it want to be if Blast is not that good? It is interesting. It is the worst. That
It's kind of funny, right? That's a thing that you also did in Painter, where a lot of people actually did that, right? They started cutting blasts for more white removal spells.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which, like, yeah, very much so. Oh yeah, that's something we talked about while you were in Japan. That Callum also does that thing where I think you went into not pull from eternity. Dude, help me out.
Pull from Eternity? What?
No. Come on, what's it called?
What does it do?
The thing you added to Painter.
A white card.
Yeah. The extra removal spell that you can cycle. Dude, I'm so bad.
Oh, Touch the Spirit Realm.
Touch the Spirit Realm, pull from eternity. Basically, same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I mean, you gotta pull. You gotta touch the Spirit Realm to pull something from
pull it
eternity. That's how you keep it together.
Makes
right?
total sense. Listen, if anyone comes here for like, really good advice on how to win games of Magic, Julian's got you.
No, I can fix the lore. Like I'm the god of retcon. So Wizards, if you want to call me, like I can get Chase back to life. I don't know if he died. He might have.
He should stay dead if he died. It's fine.
Is he a Phyrexian? Does that count as dying?
Kai and myself are going to go to R&D because we got it sorted with that rug equipment card.
Yeah.
And Julian's going to do the lore. Julian, is our rug equipment card lore friendly? Can we do it?
Honestly, there's probably like some super horrible kind of equipment from beta, which is like flying carpet, 5 mana, and you can like pay 3 mana and tap it at sorcery speed.
And sacrifice it, probably.
Keep it tapped and sacrifice it. And target creature gets like flying until the end of turn.
Yes!
I bet there is.
That's the rock we're talking about.
As Richard Garfield intended, right? That's how you do it.
Oh, yeah.
I have an absolute affinity. I love like bad artifact cards like that. Like I don't know why. There's one from the current set. I think I can't remember exactly what it does. So the people that play the current draft will like laugh at me, but it's like 2 mana and it's like a basketball game. So you use 2 mana to play it, and then you tap it for 2 mana, and your opponent gains control of it, and then you have to attack each other to fight to get it back. And when you get it back, you draw a card or something. I forgot what it's called, but it's like playing a game of basketball. It's really funny.
And that's like a super old card or something?
No, it's from the current set. But
okay.
But because you start with it in play, it's like when your opponent probably hits you with combat damage, they then take it and draw a card, and then you have to like hit them back and take it and draw a card. It's really bad, but it's just funny. I like bad artifacts.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, what's it called, magma mine, right? Like you and your opponent, you keep paying mana, and then at some point, if you can't pay mana anymore, then you here it is. You guys know magma mine?
I think so. It used to be played as the Wincon in Bomberman, I believe. Is
Oh,
it like
was
4
it?
mana
Okay.
to put a counter on or something?
Yeah, so it's artifact 1 mana,
Yes.
and yeah, you can pay 4 mana to put a pressure counter on magma mine, and then you can tap it. It deals damage equal to the number of pressure counters to any target, and the flavor text is straight up boom. I was actually thinking of a different card, but this is also pretty cool.
I've legit played this in Legacy within the last 5 years.
Really?
I've put it in Bomberman as a win con for when you have infinite mana to get off Saga.
And that's supposed to be better than just like straight up Ballista or something?
Well, Ballista you can't get with Saga, so in the end, I didn't think it was worth it, but
that's really deep. That's really deep. Like, imagine drawing this, having this in your opening hand. Oh my goodness, dude.
Okay, but read the flavor text.
It's boom.
Yeah, that's it.
Exclamation mark.
Boom! Exclamation mark in all capitals.
It's one of only 2 cards that use pressure counters. The other one is Hellion Crucible.
Hellion Crucible.
Yeah, you should remember that Magic 2013, right? This has never been printed ever since, shall never be mentioned. But it's kind of similar, but you make 4/4 red Hellion creature tokens when you sacrifice it.
Nice.
And you have to tap it to put a pressure counter on, so no Bomberman. See, they fixed that.
Oh, poor
They
Bomberman.
realized this is too good.
Man.
So yeah, that's why you got Hellion Crucible.
Dude,
Mine is a sick card.
Yeah, we want pressure counters back. Come on,
Yes.
come on, Wizards.
We want contraptions and pressure counters.
You
You know,
got
every time you add something to it, you go, under pressure.
under pressure.
But then they just die straight away.
Yeah, awesome. So Kai, you didn't win the tournament. You still have unfinished business in Japan. Like you.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Let's just before we move on. Like one little shout out to like my deck list was really like basic and not really that interesting. Except that one game. Oh man, like the one card in the main I added just for fun was like a copy of Dress Down. Just because I wanted to deal with like Usa Saga tokens and like Dahlias and shit. And then like I actually lost one game. I think it didn't cost me the whole round, but I lost the game because I had basically opponent had lethal on board. I think it was like on a Bazaar Dredgevine deck or something like that. And I had like one turn to basically win. And I had the Doomsday. I had the Black Lotus to cast it. I also had counter backup like Force of Will, Pitch, Force of Will or something like that. And the only draw card to draw into my pile was Dress Down. And I was like, dude, like
I can see where this is going.
Dude, I was like, I hate myself so much.
Oh, that's
you should have still tried.
Dude,
Is there any way that you can bounce Stress Down or get rid of it in your main deck?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
I guess you can pass the turn.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So I'm never gonna do the same mistake. Oh my goodness, don't to everyone. Doesn't matter which format you play, even in Commander. Like, don't play Dress Down and Thought Circle in the same deck. It's just don't please don't do it.
It looks funny. It certainly looks funny.
It's ridiculous. And like a special shout out to my boy Library of Alexandria in my sideboard. That card is
cool.
a pure flex card. I didn't board it in a single time.
I was about to say, that's a cool thing. You bought it in against Control. Do you want to tutor for it? And
no, dude.
Imagine how embarrassing this. Like, you're up against Jewel shops and they're like, okay, Jewel stuff. And you're like, I want to draw an extra card every turn. I'm not going to cast spells anyway. So
Library has not aged well, has it?
Library is such a meme, but dude, like, if you want to flex, then you got to flex, I suppose. Like, I don't own Tabernacle of Pendra Vale.
So it's basically the same.
So yeah, I wanted to have like some other expensive card in the sideboard instead. So
I respect it.
You're such a show off, dude.
I picked Library, and I think there's one matchup.
Like this Library of Alexandria has been signed by the Japanese Emperor. I gotta play it.
There's still like one deck where you actively want to bring in Library of Alexandria, and that's like Jeskai Control without Wasteland, like Arcanist, Ragavan, Lavinia type of deck, but no one plays that deck. Right?
I was gonna say, conveniently, none of them is in the top 16.
Yeah. But hey, I got asked that question a lot after the tournament, like especially like my Japanese friends, like, who didn't think that it was like a joke slot. They thought, oh man, like Kai probably put like a lot of thoughts and effort into this, right? I was like, nope. Nope.
We are what we are.
But speaking of your Japanese friends and stuff, I recently read something that I couldn't believe, and that's completely off topic, but is it true that credit card in Japanese is credit card too?
It's credito cardo.
Oh, come on. Or maybe you told me that on a podcast, because I thought that was like somebody was making fun of that.
Nah, dude.
That's just like completely unthinkable.
It's so cute, right?
I can actually almost speak Japanese, like
kind of, yeah. Like you gotta try and just speak really broken English, and
that works.
And then it's like 60% Japanese already.
Is that because like there's like lots of new words coming in that didn't exist back then?
Exactly.
And then they okay.
Like you're right. Like credit cards are definitely not made in Japan. Like they probably came from somewhere else. And
yeah, and even if they did, they probably didn't exist a long time. I mean, the thing is, like in German, we also say like, we say Kreditkarte. Okay, never mind. Okay, but there's like lots of English words we just like take one to one into German. So I guess that works.
One more thing I want to mention is that like I think like a few days after, on January 2nd, and I went to Haruya again to play a little bit of Legacy, and otakus or like Magic players in Japan don't give a shit about New Year celebration, right? It's January 1st and 2nd, and the shop was already crowded. It was super, super packed with players. And normally Japanese celebrate like New Year's with their families and or go to like a temple or shrine or whatever. Nope, not for Magic players. They just play the tournaments. They're like, okay, I guess New Year is cool, but when can I play my Magic cards again?
The thing is, like, this January 2nd, I would also go to play Magic if there was like a decent tournament.
Oh yeah.
Apparently there was like a secret tournament in my area that I wasn't invited to.
Oh nice. Okay.
I was invited.
Tell me about that.
Oh,
I was as well, but we were both away, so.
Oh damn, I'm so bad. No, they called it Löffel Cup. I just saw the results and I noticed I know all the people. And I don't know why it's called Löffel Cup, which means like spoon cup. But it was like in a third party location or something, and like everybody was supposed to like dress really nicely, and they kind of got that right. Which I don't know. I like this idea of like there being some secret underground tournament, even though it's almost walking the line of being cringy or like actually cool. So yeah, that one, it looked kind of cool. So who knows? Maybe there are more secret underground legacy tournaments out there that we have never heard about. Maybe there's like an entire secret underground legacy podcast out there who only like
don't tell him about our preordering cast.
like Legacy the Basement, yeah. Like
the
preordering cast.
The preordained basement cast, yeah.
It's great.
Cool. Yeah. At some point I'm gonna find that.
You'll never find it.
Guys, you wanna call it a day here, or you got any more shout outs?
No, I think I'm good. I think all I wanted to mention is that like I played a little bit of Legacy on January 2nd, and our analysis about the Japanese metagame was 100% correct, because I played 6 rounds and half of my opponents were sneak show players. So
come on, really? It's such a big thing.
Yeah, dude. And one of them was Wing Zero MTG, also known
terrifying.
From Magic Online. Yeah,
basically crushes me every single time.
Dude, he is, dude. I love this guy, right? Because like he does, like his other big passion is breakdance.
Really?
Yeah, and like,
which is kind of weird because breakdance is cool.
Yeah, I know, right? So he does like
how do you get
two
like
cool
Sneak Show
things.
into like well Sneak Show that's debatable, I guess.
Yeah.
We will see.
Dude,
The thing is, like, on the other hand, like, if you love something really dearly and you have natural passion for it, it almost doesn't matter what it is, unless it's like genocide or something. I guess then that is. But you know what I mean, right? Like, things that can be boring can be like really cool still if you are like super passionate about that about that stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just like for me, I could not be passionate about casting show until.
Yeah. So, to anyone out there, like, if you want to go to Japan, better pick your.
Yeah, well, what do you even pack against that stuff?
Containment
I was
priests.
gonna say
No, there
humility, right? Humility. That's the thing.
Yeah.
To go
like,
for.
no, confusion in the ranks.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
It never works. I promise you. I've played it in Goblins so many times against them. It never works. They just put it in Omni, you steal it, and then they like play a sneak attack and take the Omni back, or they cunning wish for something. They always cunning wish for the big stifle spell and stuff. Every time. I promise you.
Okay.
I've tried.
You know, Kai, that should be in your travel guide when you put together your Japan tour for Legacy Grinders. And don't bring Sneak Show, or rather bring proper Sneak Show hate and make sure it's not confusion in the ranks.
I have actually thought, like, if I was going over to Japan, like, I just couldn't play Painter, I think.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Because of that deck,
there's
yeah,
literally zero Painter in Japan. I did not see a single Painter player in Japan. I don't know what, like, why.
I know why.
Because it's all Sneak Show. It's the worst matchup.
Oh, oops. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, because no confusion in the ranks.
Actually, I think I already asked you. Are there like Japanese Legacy podcasts?
So I ask around, and so podcasting is not a huge thing in Japan because the other medias are so powerful. Like YouTube is crazy powerful.
Or like the radio, like they listen to the latest Legacy coverage on the radio. like you get a fax machine newsletter about Legacy,
like mixtapes and things.
Legacy mixtapes. I think that's more for like Eternal Darkness or stuff. I don't know. Cool.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so no Japan. We could make at least I'm gonna produce it. I'm gonna have a very hard time editing it.
I talked to a couple of my buddies, and like I told them about the podcast and what we're doing. Some of the, especially Ikeda, like who's the guy who always does well with Boros Initiative. I don't know. I think we talked about him like a couple of times on the cast because like he went top 8 at the Eternal Weekend, and he also went like top 8 or a finalist in the God of Legacy, I think, and he always does well with Boros Initiative or Chandra decks. But anyway, like he can't speak English, but like he said he can talk in Japanese, and I can kind of like translate and like if it makes it more interesting for listeners to
I think we might actually be pretty close to that technology of where we can have like live audio translations. I think that's probably something that's even possible at this point. It's probably going to be a little bit annoying to edit because there might still be like a delay.
Yeah,
but yeah, maybe honestly, that would be something. I mean, we're still gonna have Cube in case there's gonna be like a horribly wrong translation. So before every tournament, so I stuffed tomatoes in my nose.
Okay, so it's gonna be like Google Translate versus Kai.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
cool, guys. I think we're gonna call it a day here. That was one of the more chaotic episodes. I still love it. If you don't support the running of our show, you can leave a review on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, wherever you like, Google Bookstore, what have you, or support us on patreon.com/everydayeternal. Just like our biggest supporters, our supporters on Eternal Witness tier: Colin Garassi, Alex Crow, Tim Everett, Testacular, Sebastian Holager, Guillaume, Sean Dewey, Francis Cowper, Cassandra Davis, Dylan Shoemaker, Retro Shara, Tom Zischka, Benedikt Gruber, and Severin Schwarzhuber, who didn't tell me about the Loeffler Cup tournament. Shame on you. And Grizzlebrand tier supporters Scott Monroe, Tom Happ, Kane, Ian Seefeld, and Colonoscopy. Thank you so much, and see you in Japan, maybe even? At the very least by the end of the month.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
See ya. Bye-bye.